Listen, this is not your average Web3 video. I'm going to recount the tech news for this week, and it was all about launches or rumors of launches. If you've ever wondered about L2s for Bitcoin, or how much money was lost in scams this year, then keep watching until the end. My favorite part about this newsletter is the fact that at the end, I'm going to suggest ideas for building. Based on the news, I always get super inspired, and I want to share those ideas with you for projects that might be massive projects or even small projects that you can do in a weekend. Let's get started. We know about ZK rollups, and there's one that's called ZKSync, and they launched something that they're calling ZK Stack. This is a way for you to build your own ZK-powered L2 or L3, which is built using the same code base that ZKSync would have used. Over the next few weeks, they're going to be spending time open sourcing their code base, and eventually they want to get to the point where you have one click and you create your own version of ZKSync. There are other layer 2 solutions that have done this. Arbitrum recently announced the same thing, and Optimism did that earlier this year. There's a trend across layer 2s where they are making it easy for you to create your own layer 2 or create like an app-specific chain or layer 3. I don't know much about this project, but there's a project called Syslabs. They have launched an EVM-compatible layer 2 blockchain that is secured by Bitcoin. So instead of being secured by Ethereum, which is what majority of layer 2s are secured by because they're trying to scale Ethereum, in this case, they have created a layer 2 that is secured by Bitcoin, which means that the transactions are eventually confirmed on the Bitcoin blockchain, and they do so via a process called merge mining. Merge mining is not a new concept. It was actually introduced by Satoshi Nakamoto. It's also called auxiliary proof of work. Merge mining allows you to mine multiple blockchains at the same time without spending additional resources mining each blockchain. The name of this platform is called Rollups. It is an optimistic rollup, and you know that there are two main types of rollups right now. There's optimistic and there's also ZK-powered rollup. And we're still on the topic of layer 2s. Apparently, Coinbase is launching a layer 2. It's called Base. This layer 2 is currently being tested heavily to make sure that they do not have any errors with their chain. And guess what? They actually built this blockchain on top of Optimism. They are currently preparing for their mainnet launch. They don't plan to release a token, so if you see anything on the internet about a Base token, it's a scam. On the topic of chains and launches, DYDX is launching their testnet blockchain built upon the Cosmos SDK and the Tendermint Proof of Stake Consensus Protocol. Their public testnet is going to be launched on the 5th of July, and they plan to use DYDX as their token for the layer 1. One might argue, well, why would you not extend on layer 2? And according to their documentation, they said that they're building their own L1 because the existing app can only process about 10 trades per second and 1,000 orders or cancellations per second. They decided to build their own off-chain decentralized order book as other off-chain order book had issues with front-running and trade collisions. Also, they didn't want to go into the AMM model like exchanges like Uniswap uses because they wanted to target the customer base of pro traders and institutions. There will be no gas fees on this chain as well. They only charge you trading fees. There are some things in the news that I thought were worth mentioning. The Web3 data provided Chainlink data fees are now live on Celo mainnet, which means you can build DeFi applications on Celo pulling in these Chainlink data fees. I saw this post on Twitter, which basically said that the total losses from hacks, phishing scams, and rug pulls in Web3 reached $655 million in the first half of 2023. They made note of 108 attacks. There were phishing scams that amounted to 108 million and 110 rug pulls, which was 78 million. This is further deepening the need for great security audits, great teams that are implementing the best security practices. The first idea I have is a layer 2 usage tracker. I think there should be something like a DeFi Llama mixed with DApp Radar, but just for layer 2s, where you're tracking layer 2s that are launched, the type of technologies they're using, the number of apps that are currently being deployed to these layer 2s, as well as the number of users. Because it'll just be good to see how these layer 2s are doing and how well they're performing at scaling ETH. Another idea for a builder, which I probably would try to do, is experiment with one of these ZK Stack builders, or even just any two builders that allow you to create your own chain. And I think with DYDX launching their own app chain and L2 chains that are launching chain builders, I think it's a really good time for us as developers to understand how this works. Finally, I'm thinking about a ZK EVM secured on Bitcoin. When I heard about Rollups, I was really surprised by it, and I wonder if other things like this already exist. But since they are creating an optimistic rollup, which is EVM compatible, but secured by Bitcoin, there are two types of rollups, and there are some advantages to ZK rollups as well. So I think that'll just be like a natural progression. And with Bitcoin being one of the most popular blockchains with a lot of value locked in, as well as one of the most decentralized blockchains, the fact that it's EVM compatible is great for us developers, because that means if you already know Solidity, then you can build these apps already. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to this newsletter. I will put the link in the description. I do have a poll in this newsletter and I'd love to get your feedback. Basically, I want to know, what do you think about L3s? Like, do you think we should have L3s? Should we just focus on scaling Ethereum? Is it a great idea for app chains? Do you not understand it enough? Leave your comments below and also subscribe to my channel, leave a like, and thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye.